This VAWatchdog.org news video is brought to you by Bergman & Moore, LLC. Former VA attorneys now fighting VA for you. Call Bergman & Moore at 877-838-2889 or on the web at vetlawyers.com.
And finally tonight, a story of honor delayed. There is a military mantra, leave no one behind, even if it takes more than 6 decades. So it went for 11 U.S. airmen lost during World War II, but never forgotten. Now they, too, are finally coming home. It's been 65 years since the Swan, a B-24 bomber, crashed in New Guinea while returning to base after a successful bombing mission. For years, no one knew what had happened to the plane and its crew of 11. For relatives, the not knowing was excruciating.
They would have had a sense of closure if they had had a body to bury and a funeral service and the ritual of death. They didn't have that, and it was hard for them to deal with that.
Susan Lund's uncle, her mother's brother and only sibling, Ronald Ward of Cambridge, Massachusetts, was the bombardier on the Swan. And while the military declared the men dead, there was nothing to bury. All the Ward family had was this photo of him in uniform. Until now, when the Pentagon confirmed what local hunters found in the jungles of New Guinea 8 years ago was in fact the wreckage of the military plane, positively identifying all 8 men lost so many years ago. That brought some measure of relief for Norma Rowe. Her uncle Albert Caruso was a gunner on the Swan. His mother never knew what happened to him.
She talked to me about it a lot, and as a young girl, I knew I could feel her feelings and her hurt and anguish over losing her son.
Ronald Ward's 2 rings from high school and military training school were found with his remains.
I know my mom was very deeply touched by having 2 possessions of his back here with her.
Something to hold on to. All 11 will be buried with honors at Arlington National Cemetery this summer.
VAWatchdog.org, the nation's #1 independent veterans website. On the web at VAWatchdog.org.